Looking to get better with your money? Here are 7 questions that you should ask yourself today to make sure that you're on track and living your best life. Alright, before we get started, go ahead and subscribe to my channel below and you will get all the notifications about all things budgeting, managing your debt, and living your best life because you can pay for it. When we're ready to start diving in and cleaning up our money, there are so many different paths that we can take. We can start saving more, we can increase our income, we can pay off debt. There are so many different routes. What do you actually need to do to be better with your money? And so here are 7 questions that you can ask yourself so that you can really see where you rank and what items you need to improve on and what items you're already doing a pretty good job at. 1, what can I do to increase my income? Maybe you can't get a raise at work, or you can't take on a second job, but maybe you can do a side hustle from home, or maybe you can sell some things around the house. No matter what it is, increasing our income has so many different benefits, and it just increases our opportunities that it's definitely worth taking a look at. All right, number 2, am I paying as much as I can towards my debt as my income allows, right? So we all know that paying off debt not only frees up the payment that you make per month, but you're also saving hundreds and thousands of dollars in interest. So really ask yourself, can I afford to pay more towards my debt? Can I focus all of the extra money that I have in side hustles or cutting my expenses? Can I focus that all down into one debt at a time and really make an impact and really pay that off as quickly as possible to then start working on your second debt? So have some real conversations with yourself. Can you afford to pay a little bit more? The answer might be yes. All right, so the third question that we have to ask ourselves is, am I saving enough today to support my future? And what I mean by that is, instead of just saying, I'm gonna save 8% of my income, or 10%, or 15% is gonna go into my 401k, right? Is that money actually getting you to the life that you wanna be at? So you have to do a little bit of backwards math. And there are calculators online for this. Your 401k, the institution that you work with for your 401k, they will also be able to help you with this. So go onto their website and look at some of their tools and resources. But you want to figure out, how much money do I need in my dream retirement life? Is it $60,000 a year? Is it $100,000 a year? Is it $300,000 a year, right? And then how much do I have to save today, each month, each week to make that life happen? So do a little bit of digging, be very intentional to make sure that your future life is exactly what you want and you're saving that money today to make it happen. All right, so number 4 is your emergency fund. Is your emergency fund all set, or how much money do you need until it is fully funded? And that kind of comes down to 2 different factors. One is, how much are your monthly expenses? And so what you want to do is you want to look at all of your base expenses. If there was an emergency, you wouldn't be going on vacation or eating fancy dinners at restaurants or buying $100 bottles of champagne, right? But what do you have to have each month to cover your bills, your groceries, the 4 walls, right? Food on the table, roof over your house, clothes on your back, that sort of thing. And then you're going to multiply that number by either 3, 4, 5, or 6. And so what I mean by that is, if you have a very stable income, you're not worried about losing a job, you can have only 3 or 4 months of an emergency fund, right? And if you have variable income, you're self-employed, maybe you're a 1-income house, you probably want to be on the 5 or 6 months range of your emergency fund so that you have more money in the bank to maybe get you through longer times if needed. So you want to take that basic number, that expenses that you have at a bare minimum per month, and then multiply it by how many months that you want to feel secure and how much you think you need for your emergency fund, right? And it's different for everyone. And so everyone should have that, and you should pay off your high interest debt before you get to your emergency fund, but you should always have a little bit of money set aside in savings. All right, so number 5 here are, what are my 2 big goals and what are the 2 things that I want in life, and am I making sure that I'm getting there? So of course we can have all these dreams and hopes and aspirations for ourselves. We can want to move, we can want to go on a big extravagant vacation, we want to buy an RV, we want to live closer to our grandkids, maybe we want to buy a house in cash, whatever our crazy dreams are, right? we want to narrow it down to maybe just a couple at a time. That way we are focusing our money to make sure that we get to those dreams, right? And so think of 2 things in life that you really, really want and that you want to make sure that you get to, and let's put those actions into place to get you there, right? So if you're going to need more money, or if you're going to have to quit your job, or whatever the situations are that have to happen, the actions that you have to take to get to this dream life, let's kind of backwards plan again, and let's start putting the wheels in place to get those dreams a reality. So think of 2 things that you really want in life and start saving for them, start planning for them. That way you're creating and you're building the happiest, best future for yourself, right? That's what this is all about after all. All right, you guys, number 6, we are almost there. Hang on. What systems do I have in place to be my best financial self? And what I mean by that is, are you going to be budgeting on an app? Do you like to track your net worth on a spreadsheet? Do you like to meet with a financial advisor? Do you like managing it all yourself, maybe on computer software at home? Whatever it is, let's make all of this as easy as possible, as fun as possible, and let's create a system that you will actually stick to. So think about yourself and how you work and the types of things that you enjoy doing, and implement those into your life with your finances so that you keep up with it, right? So I know for myself, I love that my budgeting system is in an app. And so when I'm sitting in the grocery store line, waiting to check out, or if I'm, walking in my car, I can just quick plug in my expenses on my phone, boop, beep, bop, boop, bop, right? And it's all done. It connects to my bank account automatically. So it says, yep, this transaction came through. Yep, you entered it. It's the same amount. We got it all correct. You're good to go. Some people like having it in the software. Some people like a cash envelope system, so they only have cash and so they won't overspend. And do some research, dig into some of the options that might be best for you, and just test them out, because you're not going to know which ones you like until you start actually using them. And so don't be afraid if you start one and you hate it or you're really bad at it, because it just might not be for you. So just try to find a system that works for you and make it, easier on yourself. We don't want to make things overcomplicated. All right, you guys, number 7 of the 7 money questions you should be asking yourself to be better with your money today. So number 7 is there anything holding you back from having your best financial self, right? And so what I mean by that is, do you have limiting beliefs? I'll never be rich. I'll never make enough money. Do you have pity on yourself that you weren't taught this and it's unfair and you started behind the pack? Do you beat yourself up over past financial mistakes? How you were so stupid and you took out all this college debt, or how could you spend all this money on your credit cards and you'll never have a way to pay them back, right? Let's start fresh and let's give ourselves a little bit of grace, and let's just promise to do better in the future. We really can change the path of our finances just by starting with the clarity of our mental state and being a positive force and knowing that we are going to be okay, and the path to the best future for ourselves is in our own hands, and we have all the tools that we need to get there. So don't forget that you got this, and remember that every path and every step that you take forward is going to lead towards a bigger and better future for you. And so don't get stuck and don't get overwhelmed. Just take little baby steps at a time, okay, you guys? That's all that we have for today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and as always, please leave comments below. Let us know how you're doing, and let me know of any questions that you have. I would love to create a video just for you on the topics that you are wondering about most. So take care, and we will see you next week with another video.